If we talk about digital health, there's a big boost for that by wearable technologies. And why? For us, simply because wearable technologies is a method to put sensors on the right spot on the body to be able to take the measurements from the body where you want it. And the interesting thing is that the more data you get, the more interesting is actually to analyze it, because just presenting data at some point will get uninteresting because it's too much data, then you get overwhelmed. And what we think is the very most important thing of this new technologies is it enables the user to take informed actions by providing the meaningful information right in time when they need it, which is in real time. And there's even was a word for it, for this new kind of technology, which is trainables, because it helps you train to do things to certain movements, and I'm showing you the example of ambiorun for that. Well, ambiorun, as the name implies, is about running, and running is a very simple sport. Just put on your shoes and go running, and it's a very popular sport in US. It's about 65 million in Germany. There are about almost 6 million running regularly, and another 16 million running occasionally. And you think it's very simple, everybody can run, but there is some pitfalls. Beginners often overdo it, and more seasoned and experienced runners, they usually get to some point where it's difficult to improve, and actually the worst reason is getting pain. So running injuries is very high. This is a very recent survey of all the studies which have been done to check how many people starting running getting injuries, and you see it's between 20 and 80%, depending where you level to what you call injuries. But usually if you have to reduce your running because something hurts, then it's called running injury, and at roughly every second runner gets it within a few weeks of this study in a season. And the most common is foot, Achilles, knee and hip. And interestingly, the timeline already shows you whatever the shoe industry did the last 40 years, it didn't really help. So what our solution is, we build a coach, and the coach is an app together with a sensor on the shoe, and it analyzes your current running technique. It suggests the optimal way to improve and give you a step-by-step guide how to reach that, how to get there. There's a very high-tech sensor in there. It's what's called 9D motion sensor technology. Basically, it completely measures the orientation in space, and there's some certain biomechanically interesting parameters which are calculated. And we know that because already we do since 10 years running analysis in the sports shops to get the appropriate running shoe to the individual running style. What we do now here is to make this available for the runner themselves, and that of course you do by an app, and in the app the sensor data gets integrated in a way that you get a very useful graphics of it for running, for very important features for running. I don't go in detail of that. If you're a runner, you know some of them. If you're not, come by the booth and I can tell you, and I show you some examples of that. So the coach actually presents the output in the most meaningful way for you. It is a very easy natural graphic display, and also you can even do this without an app. Just start the running with the app, and then the sensor itself has an inbuilt vibration motor. It can give you the feedback by vibration pulses. Or you can have, if you use your smartphone during a run, you can get auditory signals. There's some more interesting feature in it is some prevention of overloading and overtraining. The overtraining is basically, it calculates, depending on the intensity of your session, the training load, your age, and your training status, what is the appropriate recovery time you should wait, and when is the next the best next time for doing your workout. You shouldn't wait too long, otherwise the training effect will be gone, but you shouldn't do it too early, otherwise you're still in a recovery phase, and actually you can even decrease your fitness by that. And the app is very nice, it actually changes the color, so even already the color of the app gives you an indication where you are in your recovery status, and it gives you a clear timeline. This is something which is you find in every sport textbook about this. Is called supercompensation there. And apparently we are the first actually to calculate it and present it in the app, so which is very nice for athletes. It also can deal with pain. If you experience some pain in running, and as I told you, it's very common, it's about every second, you can put it in and the app will react to it and will give you a safety margin in the next time when the joint loading, the total loading of your joints, depending on our parameters, gets to within 10 or 20% of the maximum which you experienced pain the last time, you get already a warning. So to avoid to overload. And this overload prevention is during fatigues. You also can actually suggest changes in running style to reduce it. You get a warning after halfway, so this would be a turnaround point, and like at 100% of your preset value, so that you can actually slow down and go home in a very soft way. And even after workout, what is very important is the material fatigue in the running shoes. This is something we have lots of experience from the running shops, and although usually people think they lose the cushioning, actually the problem makes the stability of the running shoes. What is more in there is some more performance-related and athlete-related things. One is the individual anaerobic threshold detection, which is the most important number people doing the exercise need to know. You need any standard Bluetooth heart rate monitor for it. Then there's some jump tests, which is very important also for soccer, for handball, basketball, and volleyball and the like. And they are used usually in professional labs, and we make it available for everyone. And the running shoe test to compare different running shoes. As I told you, we do this since 10 years in the professional market in sport shops.